What's going on everyone, my name is CakeyC and welcome to the channel. So this video is yet another addition to the setup series where we have a look at all the different guns in Warzone, all the viable guns in Warzone, and have a look at the best attachments that we can put on them to optimise their performance. If you want to check out any other guns, I've done the Kilo, the M4, the Grau. I'll leave a link down in the description below to the playlist and you can have a look at some of them if you want to. But in this video, we're having a look at the AN-94. So if you want to find out the best attachments that you can put on the AN-94 to optimise its performance in Warzone, stick around because we're going to do Warzone and then we're going to do multiplayer. And if you enjoy the video, let me know by liking it down below. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the AN-94. And as always, feel free to subscribe to the channel for all of the latest Call of Duty news, tips and tricks, how-tos and much more. Let's get straight onto the video. So the AN-94 is one of the two guns that was introduced with the Season 5 Battle Pass. So that means it's new to the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, but it is certainly not new to the Call of Duty franchise. And the AN-94 has been seen in various forms throughout the Black Ops series side of the Call of Duty universe. And the interesting feature with this gun in Modern Warfare 2019, it has a HYPERBURST feature. And what this is the initial 2 shots when you pull the trigger will come out a bit faster and will not be subject to the normal recoil pattern. And then the fire rate slows back down and it goes back to a normal assault rifle. And what we've just mentioned there is kind of the upside and the downside to this gun. Yes, the first 2 bullets come out really fast, but then the bullets after kind of drag out and kind of makes this gun a bit slow. The fire rate is just not quite up there with some of the other assault rifles that we could be running in Warzone. But with making this video and a few other videos on the setup series, I've been really enjoying using different guns in Warzone. It's all about spicing up the game. Warzone is a couple of months old now. It's starting to get a little bit tiresome of using the same old gun game after game. It was the M4, then it was the Grau, then it was the BRUEN, and now they've nerfed the BRUEN and it's still pretty much the BRUEN. So if you're looking for something different, why don't you chuck on this class that we're going to go through now? Let me know down in the comments below how you do with it. With that being said, let's jump straight onto the gunsmith and have a look at how you can optimise the AN-94's performance in Warzone. So as I've mentioned in a few of my previous videos, when you're building an assault rifle for Warzone, it's kind of pretty easy. It's the Monolithic Suppressor, so we don't need to go into that too much detail. It's going to be the sound suppression and the damage range. Yes, it's going to take away some ADS speed as expected, and it is going to take away some aim, walk and steadiness, but those 2 pros aren't really much to worry about. And then in the case of the barrel, again, it's going to be the longest barrel. For the AN-94, it's the Factory X 438mm barrel. And this barrel is the one that's going to supply us with that damage range and the bullet velocity, and it's also going to give us a bit of recoil control. Moving on now, we're going to put the VLK Optic on. Again, I've mentioned it time and time again in my other videos. The VLK has a hidden recoil bonus, so it's going to make that gun just so much easier to use. If you don't like the VLK, then the Corp Combat Holographic sight is just as good. Them two completely outperform most of the other sights in the game. And then moving on to the underbarrel, we got the Commando Foregrip again. The almighty Foregrip is good in all situations. It's going to give you an easily manageable recoil pattern and just make this gun really easy to use in Warzone. And then finally, I've been toying between the 45 round mags and the 60 round mags, and for me with this gun there is a bit of a noticeable difference when you're carrying the 16 round Casket mags. And I'm not quite sure why, because I don't think there's much of a difference, but I just feel like this gun is a little bit clunky. I think that's the right word to use. It just seems a little bit slow, and I just wanted to make it as light as possible. But if you want the 60 round mags, then that's perfectly fine as well. This gun doesn't really pack much of a punch, so the 60 round mags, try both of them out, let me know what you prefer. And there we have it, quick summary. We have the Monolithic Suppressor, the AN-94 Factory X 438mm long barrel, the VLK Optic, or an Optic do you prefer. The Corp Holographic one is also a good option. The underbarrel is the Commando Foregrip, and then we've either got the 45 or the 60 round mags. And that's the simplest way you can build the AN-94 to have a good performance in Warzone. So after speaking about Warzone, we can't forget about multiplayer. There is also a big game attached to Call of Duty Warzone. And for multiplayer, you can kind of mix and match this up in a big way, but the gun just isn't that good on multiplayer. Yes, the 2 round HYPERBURST sounds like a really good feature to have, but it just doesn't perform that well. It's a bit soft, it doesn't really pack much of a punch, and if you come up against an M4, you might as well just smash your controller or your keyboard up, because it's going to be very frustrating trying to outdo some of the guns that are normally used in a multiplayer match. But with that being said, if you're like me and you're getting bored of using the same old guns over and over again, I would chuck this class on. So for me, I like to keep my guns suppressed, and we don't really need the added damage range bonus because we're playing multiplayer, none of the maps are that big, so we're going to go for the lightweight suppressor. Moving on to the barrel, again we don't really need that much damage range and bullet velocity because we're going to be so close to our enemies anyway, so we're going to put on the AN-94 factory 330mm barrel. Moving on to the optic, again this is going to be your personal preference, but for me the Corp combat holographic sight is the one that I'm going to choose for the AN-94 on multiplayer. And then keeping with a similar theme on Warzone, we're going to go for the Commando Foregrip, and then we're going to put on the 45 round mags because we want this gun to be pretty light, but we don't really need the extra 15 rounds in that magazine that you might need in Warzone. So there we are guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it down below. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of the new AN-94. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it keeping up with the BRUEN? Is it not keeping up with the BRUEN? Is it better than the Grau? Is it not? Let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on the AN-94, and as always, feel free to subscribe to the channel for all of the latest Call of Duty news, tips and tricks, class setups, how-tos, and much more.